An Alabama teacher is teaching students and an entire community something not found in textbooks. Her lesson, one they'll never likely forget.
Which is why she is our Miracle Monday. Here's ABC 3340's Sarah Snyder.
I love those light bulb moments.
We visited Katie Gonzalez's third grade class at Edgewood Elementary in Homewood just in time for a lesson about magnets.
What does N mean? North. And then what does S mean?
The positive and negative poles, so to speak, and figuring out which end sticks. It's a lesson this teacher has been teaching since she was 3. Although not always with magnets.
You just got to think positive. You can't dwell on the negatives. There's going to be negatives about everything in life. I remember being really sick, but I remember trying to make the best of it.
Katie's first diagnosis, age 3. She had a brain tumor. After chemo, then another diagnosis. By 5 years old, it spread to her left arm. The prognosis was grim. Magic Moments gave Katie's family a trip to Walt Disney World, a chance to feel like a normal kid. For many, a last trip together.
I see those pictures and it does bring back those memories. It's just all happy moments because it's really giving children that participate in that, it's really giving them a second chance at enjoying something.
But Katie's story wasn't over yet.
A lot of our stories don't end with the happy endings. So we treasure the ones that do.
When she turned 10, the cancer came back, threatening her lungs, until a new scan and a big miracle.
When I actually had my arm amputated, the doctors did find some cancer cells in my lungs. When I went back when I was 18, the cancer cells were not there anymore.
She's been cancer-free ever since.
They're like, this is a miracle. We don't know what happened. You didn't go through anything, any kind of treatment. I mean, they're basically speechless.
Her mission now?
I have the story that I can tell, but I can do it in a better way if I'm in the classroom.
What better role model and mentor and encourager than your teacher to say, honey, I've been there. Let me tell you what we did.
Lessons she hopes they'll remember for a lifetime.
On task? Yes, that's one. Where are we following directions? Yes. Think so?
Even if someday they forget about the magnets.
Life is going to give you struggles, but it's how you take it. Are you going to stop? Are you going to let it stop your life? Or are you going to continue and fight through it?
Sarah Snyder, ABC 3340 News.
Role model and a fighter as well. Just after her miracle, Katie wrote a book. She said her goal was to explain in a simple way what cancer is and how to stay positive, no matter the outcome. Tonight, we continue our series, Miracle Mondays. Stories that inspire, that showcase the human spirit overcoming obstacles no one thought possible.
ABC 3340 Sarah Snyder shares the story of a boy from Hoover diagnosed with a life-threatening condition and given nearly impossible odds.
Bye, everybody.
There you go.
Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes.
Good job. Yay!
He's just like any little boy should be. He's wide open, running around in circles.
This one isn't even tall enough to reach the monkey bars.
And go.
He's just quite a warrior.
For 4-year-old Dade Strickland, his biggest battle started before he was born.
We were so elated. We had waited for years to have Dade.
At Tara's 20-week ultrasound, doctors realized that something wasn't quite right. They found a hole in Dade's diaphragm. His lungs weren't developing properly.
It's a very serious diagnosis.
A diagnosis, and then determination.
I said, you know what? We are going to choose joy. We are going to choose joy through this, and we are going to be positive. And if I just give up now, then we've given up on that 50-50 shot.
After giving birth at UAB, the Strickland family was quickly transferred here to Children's of Alabama for that life-saving procedure. When they got here, a surprise was inside.
Tara and I actually went to college together, and although we didn't think this would be the way we were reunited, it was very comforting, I think, just to have a familiar face.
Tara's college friend would be one of the team members at Children's of Alabama, putting Dade on a rescue therapy called extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, known as ECMO.
We are to the end of the rope. This is our last resort.
Many children on ECMO don't make it.
He just started crashing. He was turning blue.
But Dade did. Not once, but twice.
By all intents and purposes, we should have lost him that night, but we didn't.
And then what his medical team can only describe as a miracle.
We will never forget that night. We literally prayed from the time we went in the lobby until the time the surgeon came out and talked to us, and they got him on in record time.
What a miracle. What just one of the ones that the outcome was exactly what we wanted.
Knowing the odds that he was up against and the fact that, again, he's sitting here with us today, I can't think of another way to describe it but a miracle.
A small hero
Superman!
whose spirit is actually pretty big, with a purpose and new worlds to conquer. No cape required. Sarah Snyder, ABC 3340 News.
Dade is now normal and healthy, going in occasionally for checkups. Children's of Alabama is the only hospital in the state that offers ECMO. In fact, the program received a national honor as a center of excellence, meaning they're one of the top 5 centers in the world. Childhood cancer, it's a tough topic. Every day, 43 children are diagnosed with cancer.
Now, a Mountain Brook teenager is fighting to get more funding for childhood cancer, but it's his own story that makes him our Miracle Monday. Here's ABC 3340's Sarah Snyder.
And these are Joey Bosa's cleats. And these are my basketball shoes I'm about to paint.
He's a teenager on a mission.
Mohamed Sanu, I met him in Atlanta. He's really awesome. And he even did his own gloves.
But there's a reason behind the memorabilia and the gold-tinged sportswear.
Less than 4% goes to fight pediatric cancer.
Sean doesn't think that's enough.
Children don't deserve, when they're growing up, they should be with their friends. They should be outside, having fun, not be in a hospital bed.
Which is why his organization, More Than 4 Athletics, is suiting up to change that.
Cancer sucks.
One sports star, one jersey, one pair of gold cleats at a time.
The jerseys had names of some of my friends who had childhood cancer.
Now you might be asking, why would a Mountain Brook High School senior want to make friends with a 4-year-old cancer patient or petition players to raise awareness? It's because Sean knows the fight all too well.
I'm a 4-time cancer survivor.
Sean needed a bone marrow transplant. His brother Ryan was a perfect match. Sean lived cancer-free for 3 years.
Then his eyes started to swell and bulge and weep, and we didn't know what was wrong with him.
A new diagnosis, a rare form of sinus cancer. Doctors couldn't give him any more radiation. He'd had too much.
I think he was 8 years old, and he said, "Mommy, am I going to die?"
The new prognosis almost took his life. Almost. Until
the head and neck surgeon and the brain surgeon came out and they said, "This is a miracle. There was no tumor." We were floored because they usually don't say things like, "Oh, that's a miracle."
They tried to go in to surgically resect what was left, and the chemotherapy had done its job.
Through the bad days, the sickness and the treatments, the one thing that brought a smile were visitors.
I would be throwing up and sad, watching TV, or watching sports. So when a player came and visited me, I'd be like, they were bigger than life.
A miracle turned new mission.
I just kind of thought about More Than 4, helping kids with cancer, fight, not just raising money, but help them fight.
Sean was recognized for his work at the Vulcan Community Awards Thursday. He says his hope is that other children learn the same miracle he did, the hope of hearing the words, cancer-free.
My childhood was mostly taken away because of cancer. I think that children shouldn't have to endure that pain at such a young age. I want to thank everybody.
Sarah Snyder, ABC 3340 News.
Quite impressive. Sean has been cancer-free since 2012. He plans to major in sports management to continue his mission of linking sports and the cause so close to his heart. More Than 4 Athletics raises money for Children's of Alabama and the Rally Foundation. We've put a link on our website.